Hello, Karen here. And today this layout is all about my eldest daughter, who, as you probably know by now, is going to be giving birth any day now. So what I thought I'd do is do a page with these photographs that her partner took about every couple of weeks throughout her pregnancy, showing the progress. And they're great shots. He took them at the same in the same position every time. So we've got a really nice record of her pregnancy, and I just thought it'd be a nice start to the babies album. So what I thought I'd do, I'm mainly using the September Hip Kit, which is based on the Turn the Page collection by Paige Evans. But I fancied using, because they're quite small photos, I thought I'd use some Project Life cards because I don't use them very often and I've got loads of them. So I just picked out a load of different colours so that each photo has got a different coloured background. And then, so most of them have got a couple of Project Life cards behind them. But this photograph, where they, this is the one where they say it's a girl, where she'd had her scan and found out she was having a girl. I thought I'd use this really pretty pattern paper. It was actually from a very old kit from Scraptastic, which was all about babies, and I think it was called Sweet Child of Mine. And that was just a really pretty pattern paper that I thought I'd use a bit of. Because it's all about babies and girl babies, and that's when we found out she was having a girl baby, so I thought it was a nice paper to use. And then there's another little scrap from the same kit, I think, also that I've used there. But all the other photos have been backed with a different coloured Project Life card. So I'm just I think I picked a couple of cards for each photo, and I'm going to try and keep them all with matching embellishments as well as best I can. So I'm now just trimming the cards to, this is the first one, this is the golden yellow card. So just trimmed the first card, and then I'm going to stick it to this spotted one, and I'm just going to cut round the edge of the spots to give it a slightly scalloped edge to it. That's that one done. And this one I've gone for minty green, but also I quite like those stars, so that's going to be one of the layers as well. Now the next one, I'm going to now have a go at doing this one. This is going to be, I suppose, the main photograph. So I'm building it up a little bit more, and I'm going to put it onto some foam to make it stand out a bit more. Because that's quite a significant moment in the pregnancy. It's more or less halfway as well, and she's really beginning to show very, very nicely there. The little bump is growing beautifully at this point. I think it's quite clear to see that she's doing very well. So I haven't actually stuck it all down yet. I'm just laying it out and seeing how I feel about it. So that Project Life card I liked with the hearts on it, so they're just poking out underneath the photo, and gradually going around all the pictures and sticking them to their backing paper. So there were some beautiful cards. I can't remember which Project Life kits they're all from. I've all got them mixed together by colour in a big box now, so I just picked out a few from each different colour that I had. And this is the final one. And this is this card I use, and it actually says along the side, be the reason, what's it say? Someone smiles today. So it's fairly appropriate. I think every time we saw one of these pictures come through on our phones, we were all smiling. And now I wanted to soften up the photos a little bit more, so I've got out my doilies. So I've got a very small white doily in the middle, and a pink one in the corner, and I was going to try and use that minty green one, but it didn't look right in the position I'd put it, because it kind of made it it was an odd position, with the other two being in a diagonal line. So I thought really what I need is something behind the yellow one. So there we are. I found one that would work, a little heart-shaped one, so that can go behind. So then I've got a little diagonal row of doilies, and that seemed to look a bit better. So I found another card to go behind that minty green. I thought, well, that's another nice layer, so I've popped that behind there. And I'm just building up this little cluster at the bottom, the final one. This is the 33 weeks, and we haven't had a lot of pictures. I think we haven't had many more pictures since then. I think he's given up doing it now because she's just getting too big. I don't think he can fit in the camera anymore. She's so huge. Now that's a bit mean. Right, so on this, I'm just finishing off this cluster of the when they did it's a girl scan. That little bit of scalloped on the right, the little white scallopy bit, it was just a bit I'd cut off. I think something I'd cut out on the silhouette machine, and I didn't need it, so it was sitting on my desk. I thought, well, I can pop that behind there, and that'll give a nice pretty edge. And then the bit of pink that I cut off from the Project Life card that I've used, the one with the hearts on, I popped that behind there so that it really stands out, and I like that. I think that looks quite pretty. It was a nice way to just use up that little piece. And just finishing off the green one. And this is the last one. So that I thought it was appropriate that the final couple of cards, the later ones, were definitely backed by pink, because at this point we know she's a girl. So starting to use a bit more pink in the layout towards the end of the layout, towards the later, for the later photos. And I'm just using my tonic edger punch, you see there, just to give a pretty edge to that piece of pink. It's got tiny little hearts running along it, so that piece of pink cardstock is just sticking out there. There we are, and I thought that that went rather well. Just gave it a pretty little finish on the side. No, I've got the looking at the layout as it was finished. I don't actually end up using the pink doily in the end, which I don't know what happened there. I think it just ended up taking up too much room, and things do get changed around a bit anyway from where they're looking at the moment. That piece of that Project Life card that just says Life, I had intended, I was put it there because I thought I was going to use it as part of the title. And then I saw this cut apart sheet, and this is the Turn the Page cut apart sheet. If I haven't said before, the backing paper that I've used, the grey backing paper, that's number 7 from the Turn the Page collection. And this cut apart sheet, there we are. I don't know which one that was, number 1, I think. And I've got really excited when I started looking at this cut apart sheet, because not that bit, but on this sheet here, you see that little card? It says The Best Is Yet to Come, and it just seemed the most appropriate title. So I thought, oh yes, that will be great. I'll use that for my title. So the Life bit went out the window, and this came in as, and then I had to find a way to fit it in to the layout. So I have to move things around a bit to make it fit and to give it a little bit of prominence so that it definitely is clearly the title. And I thought actually it fits okay where it is, but it's almost like that the sentiment should be the last thing on the page. The best is yet to come. So we've got to this point, got to 33 weeks, but yet and still the best is yet to come. So I will be moving it around because I felt that the title should actually be at the end of the layout, if you see what I mean. You'll see where I put it at the end. And I wanted to give it a bit more, make it look a little bit prettier and make it stand out a bit more. So I found this frame in the ephemera kit. I just had to trim it down a bit so that all the words were readable. This really pretty floral frame, and I thought that would look really pretty popped along there, so I'm just going to stick that on. There we go. It just gives it that nice little edge that just makes it look a bit more like a finished item. I still haven't stuck any of these to the page yet, so I thought, well, next I'm going to just put that up onto some foam just so that it stands out a little bit. Still playing around with the placement of all these different little photo clusters. And I think I've started to think really that that title should be right at the end of the layout, because it's sort of almost leading into the rest of this is going to be at the beginning of my little granddaughter's album. So it's going to show Mummy as she progressed towards having her. So this will be the first page. So it should lead into the rest of the album, saying the best is yet to come. And I thought it needed something behind it. So I had this book of washi strips from the same collection, from the Turn the Page. So I thought I'd just lay a few washi strips behind the title, just to give it a little bit of something behind it to lift it a bit. They're a bit tricky to get off, and quite a few of them, when I started lifting them off, were shaped, either scalloped or they had some shapes in them, and I just wanted plain strips, so I had to work quite hard to find just a few plain ones. So there we are. They've just give it a little bit of something behind, make it stand out a little more. So I'm going to stick that into place. Struggling with getting off. I'm always struggling with getting the backing off this tape. Finally managed to get it off. And yep, all the other pictures have been stuck in place now. So I'm just trimming that a couple of bits off that's sticking out at the side. There's that little bit of doily there. Just trimming that off. Right, I just looked at it and I thought it looks a little bit like it needs something to edge it a bit. Oh, but first of all I'm going to do some embellishing, that's right. So see, I've got the puffy stickers from the Turn the Page collection, so I'm just trying to pick out little shapes that coordinate with each cluster colour-wise. Wasn't always easy because the yellows in this these stickers were completely different yellow to what I'd used. So I managed to get quite a few on there to go with the colours that I've used around the pictures. Picking out a few little bits and pieces and sticking them all around. And then I've got the chipboard stickers as well. So I'm just doing the same thing, just trying to find some that will coordinate with each little photo cluster, picking out colours that will go a bit of tone on tone, so that it doesn't get a bit too. Otherwise, it just get over busy if I put colours all over the place. So I'm trying to keep it a bit simplified as far as the colour schemes go. Sticking with the pink on that one, just looking for a few bits that wasn't easy to find all the colours, especially the yellow. That was a tricky one because it wasn't really a proper yellow, it was almost a goldeny mustardy colour, and the yellows in this collection are really bright and lemony. And then I thought I'd use a little bit of scallop, some of this washi tape, and just tuck it under this photo here. Just popped it in there. So here and there I have put the odd sticker that isn't completely the same colour. So I've got a little greeny bluey butterfly there with the rest of the pink. And I thought I'd fill these empty spaces with some stars that were there were some stars on the chipboard sticker sheet. And I've dot them all around in the blank spaces. They won't stay there. I thought I'd just try them out, but it just looks too messy and too busy. So they will come off again after. These are from these and the little enamel hearts and the little bows. They're both from the Amy Tangerine watch collection. I think it might be the Hustle and Heart collection that was also in the kit that I'm using. This is a September hip kit that I'm basically using. So I'm putting a few bows around. And the yellow bow didn't go very well on the yellow Project Life card, so I put it in another place. I thought it would go right there. I wasn't going to stick religiously to my colour scheme. I just tried to as best I could. All right, the stars are going again. They're coming off. Too much. Too busy. Right, now I've decided I needed a border, so I'm doing just a messy border with a black pen. And then I was thinking, now what? It still looks like it needs something. So I've decided, I think at this point, yes, I'm going to try and give each of the photo clusters a border. Some of them are going to be dotted. I've done straight ones. I've done spotty ones. I just did a little border. It's not doesn't stand out a huge amount. I just thought it needed something. So that's the something I decided to give it. So here's just I'm just following the line around the doily and around the photos. Another dotted one. I could probably have been a bit bolder. I think this looks fine. It just gives it a little edge. Right, they're all done. So I'm just showing a bit of a close-up as to what I've done. And there's still, I think I've still got this last one to do, and I've decided to give this one a dotted line. There we go. I've gone all around that one. Now I think that I just felt it needed a little bit more embellishing, so I've gone diving into the ephemera pack this time, because I hadn't used that yet, and found this nice little cluster of flowers, which I thought just tucked into that corner. It looked a little bit empty, that corner, so I just tucked that in there. And a little heart that I found, well, not so little, biggish heart that I thought I'd tuck in up there. Now what I'm doing, don't know what I'm doing now. Oh, I still haven't gone round the edge of this photo. Just realised I hadn't finished this one off. Deciding where to start. This is the final little bit. It's a bit tricky to go around it all. I just wanted to give it an outline. I haven't made it I haven't doubled it. I've just done a single outline just to finish it off around the edge. Match all the rest. And still looking for a couple final pieces. And that's pretty much it. I've quite like how this has turned out. It was really fun to do. A bit different for me. I don't use the Project Life cards very much. It was really fun to use them as backing pieces. So the final little flourish is I found this little bird and I thought that was quite pretty and went with everything else. So I've popped that on there. And that's pretty much it, I think. Yes, so thank you for joining me. Do join me again soon and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. And there's just a bow that I added at the last minute, if you can see that. Goodbye.